Alright lads, I've been out of it for a while, about a week, maybe a bit over a week. Just had a lot going on, a lot of things to take care of and do. So now I'm back in action. What we're going to do today is figure out Sygg River Cutthroat. So one of the problems I noticed with the deck is I don't actually have enough things to make my opponent's discard, which is a problem in a discard deck. So I got some things to fix it, to sort it out. I got these guys. Not this stuff. This is not for Sygg. I got a Cackling Fiend. 2 black for a 2/1 zombie. When he comes to play, each opponent chooses throws away card. Unnerve, 3 and a black. Sorcery. Each opponent chooses and throws away 2 cards. Skull Slither Worm, 3 and a black. When he hits play, each opponent throws away card. For each opponent who can't, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this nasty thing. It looks like a zombie, right? It should be a zombie worm. But it's not. I don't know why it's not. Maybe because the worm is a worm and it's wearing the skull, and that's what makes me think it's a zombie, but it looks kind of zombie-like anyway. Hollow Marauder, 6 and a black for 4/2 Spectre Rogue. He costs 1 less to cast for each creature in my graveyard, which I probably should have a few once I go to cast this bastard. So let's have 4 creatures. So he costs 7. 4 creatures, he would cost 3. So let's assume that. For 3 mana, I would get a 4/2 flyer. When he comes to play, any number of target opponents, all of them, all my opponents are targeted, each discard a card. For each who does not discard a card with mana value 4 or greater, I draw a card. So if they just want to toss a land, I get a card out of it. Spellscorn Coven, 3 and a black for a 3 and a black for the creature, 2 and a blue for the adventure. The adventure, 2 and a blue, instantly return target spell to its owner's hand. It's a pseudo counter spell. It's a stall spell. It's a you have got counter spell and you've got stalls. So this is a stall spell. Bounces the spell back to its owner's hand. So if they've got the mana to recast it, they can. Otherwise, at least I don't have to deal with it this turn. And then when I cast it for the creature, 3 and a black, 2/3 flyer. When it comes to play, each one chooses and discards a card. Then I got this guy, Refurbished Familiar. So 3 and a black for a 2/1 zombie rat that loves artifacts. Oh, he's got affinity for the little bastards. And he flies. And when he hits play, each opponent throws away a card. For each opponent can draw a card, which is pretty cool. I like that. So I want to put all these in here. So there's 6 cards. That means 6 cuts. And usually the cuts are the painful part. That's the way it works. Now, I could have got the Virus Beetle. Is that what it's called? The Virus Beetle is basically a burglar rat. It costs 1 and a black. It's 1/1 creature. I think it's an insect. It comes to play, each one chooses and discards a card. I didn't want that because it looks too techno to me. It looks too cyberpunk. And the text box, the quote, something about they'll be debugging their code for days. That's not magic to me. That's some Neon Dynasty cyberpunk bullshit that I don't want to deal with. So let's just go through and we'll figure out what I can cut. So no lands will get cut in this cycle. So Urborg stays, Soul Ring Acceleration stays, land stays, Acceleration stays, and the artifacts definitely stay. I don't have that many in here, but each one that's in play, of course, makes the Refurbished Rat cheaper. So I probably shouldn't cut that many artifacts. Sword of Sinew and Steel. 3 to cast it, 2 to equip it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 protection, black and red. When the equipped creature smacks somebody, hits an opponent, connects with their face, and makes them cry, I can destroy an artifact or enchantment. That alone, that's worth keeping. It's been doing good work. It has proved its value, so I'll be keeping that. Land, ho, Venser, Shaper Savant. 2 blue, flash. When he flashes into play, bounces a spell or permanent back to its owner's hand. So he can solve problems that I can't otherwise deal with. I'm playing black-blue, so I don't have a lot of ways of dealing with enchantments. I don't. He can deal with enchantments. He can bounce them back to the hand, and then hopefully I can counter it when they go to casting. Or, better yet, I make them discard the goddamn thing. That's ideal. So he stays. Turger got a Fright. This is one of the few game changers in the deck. Another one is definitely Notion Thief. So 3 black for it. She has got some other shit on the other side of her. She is. You can cast her for that. I don't even lantern or something. Make somebody. I don't give a shit. I care about her. 3 black 4/4/5 legendary god with menace. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or throws away a permanent card, I may get control of those cards until the end of the game. Or until they get blown up. Anyway, she's pretty good in this deck. So let's keep her. Ether Eyes. One of the things about the deck is I don't have a lot of ways to defend myself. Another reason to put more creatures in. Another reason to have more chump blockers that I want to resurrect in the future. So if somebody attacks me with a big army, if the deck works mid, or I'm not really doing that well, and they're casting stuff and I'm not making them discard it, and I get attacked with a fucking tyrannid army of 29 first strike trampling bastards, well, I can bounce them back to Cube's hand and watch him cry. So I think Ether Eyes should stay. I mark it stays. Guess, okay, he comes out. He's not working. The deck, anything high CMC is kind of suspect, from what I've been seeing. So 4 black 5/5 intimidating zombie. I can spend black to get started, and then X, put target artifact or creature card of CMC X from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under my control tapped. Then they mill X cards. In actual practice, he's not working as quickly as I would need him to. I did. It took me a while to get a foil one, and now he doesn't have a home again, so we're going to take him out. Smallpox, black. Each opponent loses 1 life. Each player, everybody, even me, loses 1 life, throws away a card, sacks creature, sacks land. So this is pretty good, but maybe I should replace with a creature. I don't know, think about that. So this is the maybe. Geth. So Geth is going over here, and let me make it so you actually see the piles. Okay, this is stuff that's going in. This is the commander. This is out and maybe. So Smallpox, maybe. Necrogoyf. He really costs, and if I take out Smallpox, it kind of makes him worse because I'd have less ways of throwing him out for madness. So 3 black for Ulurgoyf. Power equal to number of creatures in all graveyards. Beginning of each player's upkeep, they throw away, even me, they throw away a card. Madness, 1 black. So one thing about him, he does not like Noetic Scales. Noetic Scales will make me bounce him back to my hand pretty fucking often. But he does make everybody throw away a card at their upkeep. So he should probably stay. Well, let's put him in the maybe. We'll see what we get. Land. Mind Slicer. Oh, he stays. Oh, yes. I want to get a foil one. I want to get a foil Odyssey Mind Slicer, but they're like 20 euros. This guy is like 2 euro cents. He's worth nothing financially. But game-wise, 2 black 4/4/3 horror. When he croaks, everybody throws away their whole hand. Everybody. All your cards. Bye-bye. Land. Wrinkles Prank. 2 black. Choose 1 or more. Each player throws away 2 cards. Each player loses 4 life. Each player sacks 2 creatures. So, because it says 2 cards, it stays. If it only said 1 card, it would go on the potential chopping block. Land. Dimir Signet. Acceleration. Strip Mine. Funny story about this. So I was playing Sygg and I played Strip Mine, and the genie didn't like it. And I said, well, Cube is playing Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, Cabal Coffers more, so I need a way of dealing with it. And you You, Genie, you said we should all start running more pinpoint land destruction, didn't you? You said that. He said, yeah, but it was against you. Well, he did say we should, so I'm doing it. Land. Notion Thief. 2 black-blue flash. The opponent draw a card, except the first one each turn, each draw step. Instead, I get those cards. So, he doesn't specifically make people discard, but in Commander, people like to have lots of ways to draw cards. And if they're drawing cards, it's kind of going against me making them discard it. I'm at cross purposes. So I think he should stay. So if they do get any funny ideas, I can deal with it. Hostage Taker, 2 black-blue. When it comes to play, exit a target artifact or creature until it leaves the battlefield, and I can cast that artifact or creature as long as the Hostage Taker is in play, or the card remains exiled. Spend mana, no mana of any color or type to cast that spell. Which is interesting because some of these effects say mana of any color, but then they started saying mana of any type, which accommodates colorless, accommodates those cards that require specific colorless mana. Not mana of any color, but colorless mana. That said, again, I don't have a lot of ways of dealing with artifacts. She has done pretty good work before, so we'll put her in the maybe. But she's a strong maybe stay. Archaeomancer, 2 blue-blue. When she comes into play, return an instant or sorcery from her graveyard to my hand. If I go more creatures, then I don't really need her so much. So we'll put her in the maybe pile. Land. Bone Miser. I haven't had this guy out yet. Oh, I want to see how he works. So, 4 and a black for a 4/4 zombie wizard. Whenever I discard a card, I get a 2/2 zombie. Whenever I discard a land card, I get black. And whenever I toss a non-creature non-land card, I draw a card to replace it. So, he's good with all his effects. Make everybody discard. Swamp, Cabal Coffers, Dismember, a little bit of pinpoint creature kill, 1 double black or 4 life, friction mana. It's either 1, 2 life and a black, or it's 1, 2 black, or it's 1, 4 life. You fucking figure it out and you do what you need to do when you cast it. That's the way it works. And target motherfucker gets -5 until the end of the goddamn turn. Liliana's Caress. Whenever opponent throws away a card, that player loses 2 life. And there goes the battery. Alright, fresh battery. Let's keep going. Heaven Go Lich. 3 black-blue, 4/4 zombie wizard. For 1 mana, I can cast a creature card from a graveyard this turn. When I cast the card this turn, he gains all activate. I've never used that part. I've never cast anything out of the graveyard with one of these guys and then used the creature's activated ability. It just hasn't happened. That said, the main reason he's in here is so when my dudes die, excuse me, I can get them back and make people discard. So he's a solid stay. Gescoma, 4 for an artifact. Whenever an opponent throws away a card, you may draw a card. Yeah. Funny story. One of the first times I was playing Sygg, first iterations of Sygg, the Genie was playing his new NG Falconwrath deck. So he does a lot of madness things. And he's discarding a lot. So I cast Dual Vault, and he said this is going to take a while because he thought I was going to have to dig through like half my library to figure out what I wanted. In the top 5, there's Guest Grimoire. So I said, no, this is not going to take long at all. Put Guest Grimoire on top. Next turn, cast it. The Genie read it, and he realized what that's going to do with the deck he's playing. Draw me lots of cards, and he's like, fuck. So it stays. Land stays. Siphon Mind. 3 in a black. Each other player throws away a card. You draw a card for each card thrown away this way. A Mirrored Landscape. Reason this is in here, there's been a lot of games with any of my 2-color decks where sometimes I'll need double black or double blue. If it's a white-blue deck, I need double white. And sometimes I only have one of each. So Myriad Landscape is here to kind of get past that, because, of course, you spend 2, sacrifice it, go find 2 basic lands that match, put them into play. So I can get my double black or double blue. Of course, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, it sorts out all the double black problems. Each land is swamp in addition to other types, so no double black problems with that card. Darkness, Bog, Black. I don't know if I need that. Junji, the Midnight Sky. 3 black for a 5/5 legendary dragon spirit. Flying menace. When he dies, choose 1. Each opponent throws away 2 cards and loses 2 life. Nice. Put target non-dragon creature card from a graveyard, any graveyard, onto the battlefield under your control. You lose 2. So that's any creature with no extra bullshit. No, it gets -0, -1. It gets bounced back at the end of the turn. Exile, none of that. You just fucking get it. He replaces himself. So he's pretty goddamn cool. So we'll keep him. Ashok Dream Renderer. I don't need him. I really don't. 1 double blue, double black, hybrid. Spells and abilities your opponent's control. Can't cause your controller to search your library. That's the real reason I put him in here. Is to make it so slow people down. But that really doesn't matter. And then -1 target player puts top 4 cards of their library in the graveyard, then exile each opponent. Yeah, I'm making people discard, so I'm filling the graveyards. So I probably need a way to exile graveyards, my opponents. So maybe I need them, maybe put them in the maybe pile. Maybe. Insight. 2 and a blue whenever target opponent. Now, this is the old wording. Target opponent. The current wording, and if you look in Gatherer, you can verify this. Whenever any opponent casts a green spell, draw a card. That said, I'm not sure if this is the draw engine I really need. The idea of more drawing, it works. It's pretty good, because in a Commander game, if you're playing Commander with 3 of the lads, chances are at least 2 of the other 2 are playing some flavor of green, right? It's one of the most popular colors in the format. So you're going to draw lots of cards. Still, I'm not sure if it's worth a slot, because I need to make 6 cuts for these guys. So I'll put that on the maybe pile. Oppression. 1 black for an enchantment. Whenever player casts spell, that player discards card. Oh, I fucking hate this card. Ishii is not happy that he traded. He just traded it to me. He didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then when I'm playing Sygg and I cast it and he saw me what I was doing with it, he's like, I should never have traded you that card. Yeah, but you did. And it works. Discard a card. Oh, you cast another spell? Discard another card. Discard everything, motherfucker. Disallow. Arash. 1 blue, counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. It's a counter spell. I need a few counter. If I'm playing blue, I need some counter spells. Otherwise, why are you playing blue? Makes no sense. Urtai Resurrected, 2 black-blue for a flashy Phyrexian human wizard. He's a 3/2. When he hits play, counter target spell, basically it's disallow. So when he hits play, you disallow, but the controller of that spell draws a card, or you murder another creature or planeswalker, and its controller discard. So you deal with the problem, taking the chance that it might create a new problem, but it does deal with the problem that's right in front of you. Burglar Rat. 1 and a black for a 1/1 rat. When it comes to play, every opponent throws away a card. Tiny Bones, Trinket Thief. I'm actually thinking I'll put him in the maybe, because I need more hardcore discard. And these cute effects that do something when people discard, I don't need so many of those. I need more critical mass in every turn, every couple turns. I need a card that makes my opponents discard, or I need a way of repeating the effect so they discard. That's the idea of the deck. Get them down to, minimal hands, no hands. And this guy, So 1 black for a 1/2 skeleton rogue. Beginning of each end step, an opponent discarded a card this turn. I draw a card, lose 1 life. And then 4 double black. Each opponent with no cards in hand loses 10 life. Now, he does come down really fast. I mean, there's only 1 in a black to cast. And anytime an opponent throws away a card, I draw a card and lose. But I've got other ways of drawing cards in here, so I don't know if it wouldn't be better just to have something make some discard. Damnation, sometimes you need to reset the game. Bury all creatures. That's what this says. It's a lot of words. I mean, it's got 7 words on it, when it really means 3. Bury all creatures for 2 black. Bury all creatures needs to come back as a keyword. I will keep saying that until Wizards fucking does it. Same with this damn thing. Wizards needs to finish this cycle. They need to get off their stupid asses and just print the enemy color Mirage fetch lands in a commander product, and us commander players go, oh my god, it's fantastic, they finished the cycle, we have 5 more fetch lands, and we will love it. They won't have much financial value, they won't be worth much, but people will snap them up like crazy because more fetch lands, more fun. Anyway, this comes into play tapped, and then you sacrifice it, go find an island or swamp, and put it in play. So this comes into play tapped, but the land you get does not, unless it says it comes into play tapped itself. For example, if I Bad River for a Watery Grave, and I don't want to pay 2 life, it will come into play tapped. Otherwise. Words Waste. 2 and a black for an enchantment. Spend 1 the next time I would draw a card this turn. Each opponent discards a card from his or her hand instead. So with Gesk Gumwa, if I get this going, so I'm going to draw a card at the beginning of my turn. Draw step. Instead of drawing a card, I'll make all my opponents discard a card. And the Gesk Gumwa triggers for each card they discard. So if all 3 discard a card, I draw 3 cards. I can replace one of those draw effects with another discard. So I draw 2 cards, and or is that the next time, meaning if I would draw 3 cards off 1 time, do I get none? I need to look that up. I need to look that up to see. So if I make them all discard instead of drawing, and they all discard a card, that's 3. But that's the next time I would draw a card, and I would draw 3. Is it counting that instance of draw as the next time I would draw? Or is the next time I would draw a card 3 triggers because of 3 cards? So I'm going to put that in the... I need to look that up and figure it out, because I'm sure it'll come up, and we'll have a lot of discussion about it if I don't know the answer. Crystal Shard. 3 mana to cast it, 3 or 1 blue. Return target creature to its owner's hand unless that dumb bitch plays 1. This is really near to bounce my all you other dudes throw away card dudes, so that should stay, I think. Land, Memory Plunder. 4 blue, 4 black hybrid. You may play target instant or sorcery card in opponent's graveyard. Yeah. I'm making discard cards. Somebody's going to throw away something nice. Now, here's the funny thing I thought of. If I Memory Plunder, say the genie is playing Mrs. Bumblefuck, and he's discarded Approach of the Second Sun. If I Memory Plunder it, and I cast it, and I gain 7 life, it goes in his graveyard. See? And then if I Archaeomancer and I bounce this back to my hand, and I Approach of the Second Sun again, I win the game, right? That's the way it works, right? Because I'm casting the card with Memory Plunder, and Second Sun triggers on cast. It's highly unlikely to ever happen, highly unlikely. But it's so much fun to think about. Island. Evgeny's Expertise, 2 black, all creatures get -3 until end of turn, and I can throw a card with CMC 3 or less from my hand into play for free. Keep that because it's a board wipe, and then I've got most of the creatures cost less than 3, so I should get something free. Let's look at her more closely. So Liliana, Heretical Healer. 1 black for 2/3 lifelinking Human Cleric. Whenever another non-token creature actual croaks, flip her over and I get a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So when she flips over, she becomes Divine Necromancer. 3 loyalty Planeswalker. +2, everybody throws away card. Neg X, return target non-legendary creature with CMC X from your graveyard. So she will bring my creatures back. She will bring my creatures and make them discard back. And no extra bullshit. Neg 8, if I ever get up to neg 8, if I ever many counters on her, get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, any creature, it comes back into play under my control at the beginning of the next end step. So, yeah, there's some extra hoops, but to have another Liliana, I don't have Liliana the Veil in this deck. I could put one in. Why didn't I put one in? I forget why. I have a copy. It's just sitting in my art binder. Why isn't it in here? Do you know why it's not in here? If you figure it out, tell me. Ping me in the comments. Limdol's Vault. Black blue. Instantly look at the top 5 of your library. As many times as you feel like. You can pay 1 life to put those cards at the bottom of your library and look at the next 5. And then once you're happy, once you've found 5 you kind of like, shuffle all but the top 5. So all the cards you're putting at the bottom, they're not going to the bottom of your library. You're going to shuffle your library after. And then you're going to put the 5 that you like back on top of your library in any order. So this is pretty damn cool. Pretty effective in this deck. Found me Guest Grimoire. That's a bonus. Academy Ruins. Put an artifact card in your graveyard on top of your library. So this works pretty good. Excuse me. Pick that up. Nizumi Informant. He's just a rat version of Burglar Rat. So he's a rogue version of Burglar Rat. They're rats. They're both rats. Burglar Rat's a rat. Nizumi Informant's a rat. They both do the same thing. Come into play. All my opponents will red card. Flare of Denial. Counterspell. Now, you've seen I don't have a lot of blue creatures in this deck. I don't. Mostly black. It's black with a splash of blue, but he's blue. And he's my commander. And he's cheap to play. So if I really need to, if Sygg's out, I can sacrifice him to cast Flare of Denial. If I need to. Other than that, it's 1 double blue to counterspell. There's Watergrave. Glint Elender Archmage, 3 and a blue. Spin blue, sacrifice your counter non-target non-creature spell, non-target spell. You know, whatever the hell that would be. I'm not sure if I need her. I mean, counterspells are good. But to spend 4 mana and then needing to have 1 open to counter a spell, and then I'm trying to discard. I'm trying to make people discard. I don't know, I'll put her in there maybe. Baleful Tricks. Black blue for a 1/1 robot bird. My little robot bird comes to play and gets me a card, and he's got that touch. He's a nasty little robot bird. He's poisonous. Land. Dimir Doppelganger. 1 black blue for 0/2 shapeshifter. Spend 1 black blue. Exile target creature card and graveyard from the game. And Dimir Doppelganger becomes a copy of that card and retains that ability, so you can do it again. So this, again, I'm trying to put in more discard, but I also need and want things that take advantage of all the discard, and this takes advantage of it. So, and she doesn't cost that much in any way, financially or mana. Equilibrium, 1 blue whenever I cast a creature spell. They used to say successfully, whenever you successfully cast. So now it just when you cast it. If it gets countered, you have still cast it. You have successfully cast it. But they used to put the word successfully in there because the game was still fresh. It was still new. It was still going through its discovery phase. But whenever I do that, successfully cast a creature spell, if I pay an extra 1, if I tax myself, I can bounce any creature back to its owner's hand. Unless it is hexproof or shroud. Anything like that. But otherwise, I can bounce any creature I want back to its owner's hand, including mine, so I can cast them again and make people discard. And since they're discarding, they should waste not. 1 in black, whenever opponent throws away a creature, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. This is basically just the, and now I forget his name, because I just got him. I have had him play. I haven't really timed Bone Miser. And it's the same guy. Look. It's the same guy. So, this guy, 4 in black. This guy, this enchantment, 1 in a black. This one triggers when I discard. This one triggers when my opponents discard. But they both trigger the same way. I discard a creature, get a 2/2 zombie. They discard creatures, get 2/2 zombie. Discard land, black black. When they discard land, add black black. When I throw away a non-creature on land, draw a card. When they do the same, I draw a card. Same dude. Same dude. Oh yeah, I already went through that. Okay, we're almost done. This is going to be a long video, but I've been away for a week, so some of you might want a long video. Some of you probably are thinking, we need to shut up and get to it. Okay, let me just shut up and get to it. But if I shut up, then I would just not record the video. I would just show you cards without saying anything. Is that what you want? If that's what you want, put that in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video like that, which would be weird, but I'll do it if that's what you want. Anyway, Rise of the Dark Realms. I wanted some big finisher in the deck. I'm thinking Exsanguinate is a better big finisher. Because if so this is 7 black black. Put all creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under my control. It doesn't really work well with Ashiok, right? Because if I trigger Ashiok, then a lot of creatures get exiled. So I don't have that many to go for. But if I Exsanguinate for black black and 7, then I drain all of my opponents, all 3 of them, for 7, and I gain that much life. And then I could put more into it. So I'm thinking Exsanguinate is a better big finisher. Still not convinced. Hey, look, it's another Liliana. She wakes the dead. 2 black black for legendary planeswalker. She's got 4 loyalty when she comes into play under my control, looking good, walking out of the swamp with a little dead guy trying to hold her hand. +1, everybody throws away card. Each opponent can't lose 3 life. Neg 3. Target creature gets neg X until end of turn, where that's the number of cards in my graveyard. So that'll get pretty big pretty fast. Neg 7, I get an emblem with at the beginning of combat of your turn. Put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Sweet. So let's keep her. Let's keep that. Rankle, Master of Pranks. 2 black black for a flashy, hasting fairy rogue. 3/3. When he smacks a player, choosing a number, everybody throws away a card, everybody loses a life and draws a card, or everybody sacrifices a creature. Whatever you need, baby, he can do it for you. Talisman of Dominance. Elderfang Disciple. So she is essentially she's a burglar rat in assuming form. She's the same damn thing. 1 in a black for a 1/1 creature that makes everybody that isn't me throw away a card. The Raven Man. Started thinking the Muffin Man. Do you know the Raven Man, the Raven Man, the Raven Man? Do you know the Raven Man who lives on Dominaria Lane? Some shit. Anyway. 1 in a black for a 2/1 legendary human wizard. Beginning of each end step, all of them. If any motherfucker threw away a card this turn, I get a 1/1 black birdie with flying. Can't block. 3 in a black, tap. Each opponent discards card, activate only as a sorcery. Alcatraz, Deepest Betrayal. 3 black black for a 4/4 Bat God. Bat God, Bat God. He's got flying and lifelink. He also, whenever he attacks, not connects, but just attacks. Each opponent throws away a card. For each opponent can't, I get a card. I draw a card. Sweet. Whenever an opponent discards a land card, I get a 1/1 bat flying. 1/1 flying bat. When he dies, you flip him over and he becomes this land that is basically a swamp. But then if I'm hellbent, if I got no cards in my hand, any player, if a player, so if anybody has one, no, it's not hellbent, it's one or fewer. Someday I should read the cards, but I don't see the back that much, really. So anyway, if it's a land, and anybody has one or fewer cards, which would be 1 or 0, because you can't have negative cards in your hand, which is odd to think about, because what if you could? Anyway, 2 in a black, and it flips back over into Alcatraz, the bad god. Let's see, hibernation. Yeah, this has proved its value time and time again, really. So, against the big green armies, this deals with it. It only deals with it for 1 turn. Well, a couple of turns, because then they have to reconstitute the army. They have to put the creatures back and rebuild. But it slows things down. 2 in a blue. Instantly bounce all green permanents back to their owner's hand. And it's kind of flavorful because blue and black are both the enemy of green. Speaking of enemies of green, Sword of Feast and Famine. 3 to cast it, 2 to equip it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, protection from black and from green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, they throw away a card and you tap all your lands. Works really well in this deck. Liliana Spectre is basically a burglar rat that costs 1 more black. It has 1 more power and it flies. But this is still a burglar rat. It's just a flying, more powerful burglar rat for 1 more black. Synchromancer, 2 black. Whenever creature an opponent controls dies, I may gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent discards a card, I may gain 3 life. So this is one of those cards that doesn't make my opponent's discard in and of itself. But the advantages I get with her, I think is more interesting than Tiny Bones. Because I'm not gaining cards, I'm gaining life. So I still think she's worth the addition. She's worth keeping in the deck. Manamo School of Water's Edge. Reanimate. Well, I'm discarding cards. My opponent said something nice is going to go in the graveyard, and I might want it to work for me for 1 black and a bunch of life. Land. Dragon Lord Silumgar. 4 black blue for 3/5 flying death touching elder dragon. When he comes to play, gain control of a target creature or planeswalker for as long as I control him. That said, he does cost 6 mana. He doesn't meet my opponent's discard, so he goes in the maybe pile for now. Painful Quandary. 3 black. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they lose 5 life or throw away a card. There's no quandary about whether or not that's going to stay. Swamp. Migrum. When I first saw Liliana's Caress, when I was going through cards I wanted for the deck, I thought Liliana's Caress was just Migrum with another name. It's not. It only costs 1 and a black. Migrum costs 2 and a black. So it's a cheaper Migrum. Whenever any opponent throws away a card, Migrum deals 2 damage to him or her. Nordic Scales. Bit of special tech for this deck. So I'm going to be throwing away some cards, and this will affect me. But my opponent should be throwing away a lot more cards, so it should affect them more. 4 mana to cast it. During each player's upkeep, they count the number of cards in their hand, and then each creature with power greater than that number gets bounced back to their hand, so I can make them discard it. Yep, that's the way it works. So if they have 3 cards in hand, all their creatures, and this is before they draw, so on their upkeep, before draw, if they have 3 cards in hand, all their creatures power 4 or greater go back to their hand. And if they're tokens, they just poof, disappear. Pluto Delta, Russian, Island. Tiny Bones, Bobble Burglar. Oh, he's definitely staying. 1 in the black for a 1/3 skeleton rogue. Whenever an opponent throws away a card, exile it from the graveyard with a stash counter on it. During my turn, I can play cards I don't own with stash counters on them from exile, and mana of any type can be spent to cancel spells. I don't really care about that. I mean, it's nice, but really, he's here 3 in a black, tap. Each opponent discards a card. Activate only as a sorcery. So he's kind of like the Raven Man, who hangs out with the Muffin Man. For a stronghold. So my creatures are going to be dying, and I'm going to be getting them back, and I'm going to be casting them in and making my opponents discard. Counterspell. It does what it does, says what it does. Does what it says what it does. Blah. Island. Okay. So now we have our potential cuts. So 3, 6, 12. And we only have 6 additions. So this is not going to be as bad as I thought, depending on my second thinking of the cuts, which always happens. So what am I definitely going to cut? First off, I'm going to cut Geth. He just doesn't really work here. Then I'll cut Rise of the Dark Realms because it costs so damn much. And if I leave Ashiok, it works against it. I'm going to take out the Trinket Thief. Even though he will draw me cards, if my opponents have no cards in hand, or if I don't have them when I'm making them discard, sometimes by the time I get him, he's really... Yeah, I can spend 4 black and they each lose 10 life. So... See? I told you I was going to second think it. I told you. Inside, let's just take that out. And again, Rise of the Dark Realms, I mean, I'm thinking taking that out, but I'm already thinking of a specific replacement for it, which is Exsanguinate. So maybe I will cut it for not one of these 6, but for something else. Glinda Archmage, I'll just take her. I've got 3 counter spells in the deck, plus Adventure, Shaper Civil, plus the Spell Scorn, the Take It Back, and the Spell Scorn Coven. Oof. Dragon, he just costs a lot, so we'll take him out. So let's start with these. So we'll take out Dragon Lord Silumgar for something that costs less and does what the deck wants to do. Let's start with Refurbished Familiar. Well, that sleeve is bad. I need a new sleeve. So I'll get a new sleeve for that. Glinda Archmage, I'll take her out. Because if my discard game is going, if I'm making my opponent's discard, I won't need so many counterspells. That's a fact. Because if they've got nothing to cast, I've got nothing to counterspell. So what do I want to put in for that? Well, I took her out, so let's put in a replacement effect. So the Take It Back, return target spell, so it's a pseudo counterspell. Let's put Sygg here, put that there. Insight. So we'll take this out. I do like the card though. I really like the way it works. It's just I need more discard. I need to focus the deck on the theme. And drawing cards for blue is not theme. That's not too bad. So let's put in the Cackling Fiend. Yeah, let's put in the Cackling Fiend. Okay. So now, still have these. Well, let's take out something for Geth. Okay, so we'll do this pretty simple. Geth costs 6, so I'll put in the one that costs 7 instead of him. And then I need to find another, because, oh, it's so beautiful. It's a foil. Oh, I wanted one of these for so long. Then I finally decided to get one. Just because I want something doesn't mean that I'm always... If I don't have an idea for it, or it's not cheap enough to just buy for when I do have an idea for it, I can want it for years and not actually get it. But I finally had an idea for him and got one, and he's not really working in this deck. So there he goes. So put in the Hollow Marauder instead of Gas. And he could be cheaper than the 6, depending on how many creatures I have in my graveyard. So now I've got these two. And I'll need to get the Exsanguinate for the Rise of Dark Realms. I'll need to get a sleeve. Another perfect fit for that. I need to make sure I know exactly how this is going to work. I mean, exactly. So, 2 more cards. If I don't have her, the Memory Plunder thing isn't going to work. On the off chance I get to do it with the Approach of the Second Sun. Let's take out the Fog. I've got 2 board wipes. Well, 1 is not much of a board wipe. I've got Damnation, and I've got Yevgeny's Expertise, which only gives -3, -3. And then I've got Aetherize. And then if it's green, I've got Hibernation. So maybe I can get away with this. Maybe it's fine. So we'll put in a Nerve instead of Darkness. And if I put it back, I'll say, "Hello darkness, my old friend. I want to cast you once again. 'Cause my opponents have lots of creatures. And they've got nasty features. And the venom that is dripping from their fangs makes me..." And that's enough. So what else? What for the Skull Slither Worm? I don't have a Bajuka Bog in this deck. At least I didn't see it. So I probably don't have one. So this would be my only way of dealing with graveyards. And it deals with all of them at once, and they're discarding, so I should probably keep that. I should probably keep her. Hostage Taker. I should probably keep that. So what if I didn't put Exsanguinate in the deck? What if I did take out Rise of the Dark Realm and I didn't have a massive blowout spell? How's that going to work? What if I put in Skull Slither Worm instead? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below after you've licked and sucked the scribe.